Hey, JJV, Tin Man Views of NYC. Oh, my eyes burn. I got to get a little Kleenex out here and wipe my eye. My allergies got to me. I'm sweating. It's not bad today, though. It's very breezy, and probably about 80, maybe a little less. And it's supposed to get up a little bit and get humid more later on. But right now, it's quite pleasant. I'm sweating because I've been working in my apartment because I'm going to be moving soon. I've said that before in some of these videos, and I've got to get things together and throw some things out and get some curtains down today that were just filthy dirty because my apartment building was being renovated for a long time, and now I'm going to get across the street real quick, and now it's finished just about, and I have to move, and because they're going to want my apartment to make it one apartment on the bottom floor. There's 2 apartments there, and they're going to put mine and the other apartment together and make one big apartment and charge something like $7,500 a month. Are you kidding? No, I'm not. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I was all sweating in there. I was trying to get these curtains down. I had to climb up to the ceiling and move some stuff out of the way, and oh my God, I thought it's been years since I've done stuff like this. And I realize I'm going to need some help, or let the moving company, when they come, whoever knows when they're coming, because I don't have a place yet. But I hope this is a great old theater, by the way. The Orpheum Theater. It's like only 2 little stories. It's unusual to have a little building this old that they haven't tried to tear down and develop or anything. But it's a theater, off-Broadway theater. Been here in East Village. I live a block from here, less than that. And pretty fabulous. Let's see if we can get we can get the Orpheum. I don't know about that show that's your Ginger Twinsies. It's not getting many people going. Might not last that long. See, it's kind of a nice building. I have to get further away to give you the whole thing. Anyway, that's a theater there, right near my house. Anyhow, so I'm just going to try to get a quick view. I showed you when I was coming out of my house with the laundry that they had the trucks parked right in front of my house for where they're making the movie, and I'm just going to walk here on Second Avenue and just see if this is the corner of 2nd Avenue and St. Mark's Place, where I live, right up that way, a half a block or so, 3/4 of a block. That's where I live. Anyway, beautiful day, like I said, sunny, not too many clouds in the sky yet. And supposed to get more humid as the day goes on, and then by Friday it's supposed to be humid and hot. Back to that stuff again. It's a couple of nice. That's a nice little restaurant. This looks pretty nice too. This place here. Look at all the nice flowers they got out in front. Yeah, see that? Nice. Nobody's in there, but the other place is jam packed. I can't figure that out when you got one place right next door. The other place has nobody in there. Huh? They don't even have their tables up outside today. Anyway, so anyhow, I'm walking along here, and I can't even remember. I know that, for example, you can see where they're not supposed to have any parking here either. No parking. See, Friday. Oh, I guess they're going to be shooting. Well, what is today? Isn't today Wednesday? Yeah. Wow, they've already got the trucks in front of my house with the costume department and all that stuff. And maybe they're not shooting yet today. Maybe they're shooting on Thursday and Friday. Oh, wait, they say set, though. Look at this. See? This is what I do, folks. I'm an actor. I do mostly stage work, but I work on films. I've had a few small speaking roles here and there, but TV, movies. But most of the time, I either do stand-in work or what they call featured background. Like you might have a little bit or something to do in a movie, but you're not really a speaking actor. And if you speak, they got to pay you more, and that's happened to me a few times, where you get bumped up to day player, Anyway, so I'm just looking because I know if the set is straight ahead, that could mean that they're not working outside yet. See those trucks across the street there? Those are all movie trucks. Those 2 big trucks over there. Those are movie trucks. Like I say, they've got all over there. I guess up on that block as well. Everything up on that block. There's trucks that are parked. See those markers or whatever you see, those cubes, whatever the hell they call those. I'm sorry. They got all the area around here. They're claiming it for like 3 days. So these trucks will be here. No parking. People are going nuts. But you know what? It's good for the city. Makes a lot of money. you know, get a lot of money from these movie companies. They got legal permits to do all this, and that's the way it goes. So I don't know where the set is, inside or whatever they're doing, but I'm just walking along here trying to see if we run into anything where they might be. I doubt if they're going to be out in the street today. You know, they'll probably do that later. You know, and today's just maybe putting the trucks out and getting ready and all that stuff, you know. Or maybe they're working inside an apartment for a building. That's possible too, you know. And I wouldn't know because I didn't get hired. Oh, the set is to the left here, so maybe it's an outdoor thing. Let's see. Let's just scroll. See, it says set. There's set. I'm following the arrows, just like we do when we're working. You got to go. Where's the set? Follow the sign. Where's the holding? Follow the signs. Anyway, so I'm gonna just walk along here. You know what? It looks like they might be right across the street there. Maybe they're doing something in the church or in the churchyard later on. That's possible. Let's see. What does this say over here? Got another sign here. Oh, shit. It says holding, and catering. See? That's what I'm saying now. That's over there. I know where it is too because they always use the same places. There's a place right over the Ukrainian restaurant, and I'm sure they hired that for the holding today. I'll bet you any money on it because I've worked on these things before in my neighborhood as well, like I said before. And see that light over there, right over there? See that? That's for the movie. See? And they're not using it yet, so that means a little later today they'll probably have an outdoor sequence. And I can see where they've got some fake stained glass on those windows over there. You see that? I'll bet you any money that's for the movie, and they want it to look like there's stained glass or something on those windows. You see? Yeah, that's what it is, I'm sure. Yeah? So they're going to work over there, I'll bet you anything. And then as you look along here, you can see that. Why can't I think of what these are called? I'm sure you all know what they are. You're going, they're that stupid. They're parking markers, whatever they are. And so all these people hanging around here, outside here, they're probably all, you know, like I said, they might be working on a movie or waiting to work on a movie. Like these folks right here, you see how they're kind of just hanging around? You see? They're just sort of hanging out. They might just be getting ready to work, or wondering how long it'll be before they work, and they don't need to go to holding right away. You see that whole block? Got the markers and everything. All these are cars that are either that have to do with the movie probably. They're not private parking today because it's all closed here. Those are not private people. That's probably people that are hired with their cars. Yeah, in fact, they look like period cars. You see this? I don't know what year exactly, but you see most of the cars are a little older. So that means the time period of this movie. So they wouldn't let regular people have their cars parked there. That's why they get rid of them. But these cars that are 19, what is that? I don't know, 1978 or whatever. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. Nice little garden. I always show you guys this. You know, I take pictures. I take a lot of photos of this nice little garden. My little triangular garden here on the corner of Stuyvesant, where Stuyvesant and 10th run into each other. And I always love that building. That building up there is great. It's actually building on each side. It's on Stuyvesant and then over here on 10th Street. It's also very nice. But they're actually two different apartments. It's weird. I wonder, I've never been in any of them. But this one here on the ground floor, that's one apartment on both sides. The entrance is on this side, but the apartment goes all the way through the building. On other apartments, as you go down there, some of them have entrances on this side, but then some of them have on the other side. There's a front and a back, but it's not the same building. These are great blocks, by the way. The beautiful, big, wonderful trees, nice buildings. Look at that one over there. You can see, right? But anyway, you'll notice, like I said, there's all the signs. No parking, no parking. And this is like Friday, July 25th. So I think there's Tuesday, July 22nd at 10 p.m. That's when they took over. So that was last night. So that means all day today, nobody can park here. And the only people that can park here is, like I said, movie-related cars like we just saw on the other block. And probably not everybody's arrived. They're probably not using them right away. But, you know, people have these little cars. Even people like me, maybe you own a little older car or something. Maybe you can go out and buy one so that you get hired with your car. Yeah. And other people have their new cars, of course, and you can work a lot with that. And I used to have a motorcycle, and I would get hired once in a while with my motorcycle. I don't have any vehicles anymore, so, and I'm getting hired a lot less in general. I'm kind of upset about that, but hey, you get older, you know, Maybe there's just not as many opportunities when you're 76, that kind of thing. They only need so many people that are old whenever they're working, you know. Now, this would be one, though, where they got to have a lot of people. If they want neighborhood-looking people, I'd be perfect. Did I get called for this today? Or Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, whatever? Here's a nice little, this is the same buildings I'm telling you about. All the entry, it's all similar. All these little buildings from 1845 or whatever. Well, this one's a little different. It's more, that's probably about 18. That's probably also 1850s or 60s, but also they probably did the windows over at some point, you know. These are the old type windows. That's all the way down. All of those are the same. Over here, all the ones there, they become the same again, similar. Really nice. Look at they got these wonderful little flowers here, you know. Nice, right? How about that entranceway? Nice. I take photos of these. I'm sure I got photos of this. You know, I take a lot of photos. Sometimes I repeat the buildings a lot. And, you know, I had my friend Jo, she would paint a lot of my photos. We haven't been doing it. It's my fault, really. I kind of, with all the things that have been going on in my life and got some difficulties, and then we had COVID for a while, and now it's been after that, but then I had some business troubles, and I had some whatever, I'm going to go into it. But anyway, you know, we kind of fell off, me giving her choices. She has a folder with a bunch, but, you know, probably needs some new ones, and I just haven't been able to. I've taken some, I just haven't sent them to her, and whoops, and so she's not really painting them. I know she was doing one that was going to be really big, a large one, and then that's the last time we haven't spoken for a while, so it's on me. I need to contact her and get some of these photos to her again, so she can get back to painting some of my fabulous photos. They're pretty good, of these facades and doorways of New York City. It's kind of the similar thing I do with this JJB Tin Man Views of NYC. It's not always video. It's often just photos that I'll put up. JJB Tin Man Views of NYC. You know, like there's another one. Look how similar. They don't have the flowers. They don't have the nice flowers, but it's the same kind of building, same kind of thing. See, a lot of them are like that. And they're on both sides. This is 10th Street. And on the other side is Stuyvesant Street. It kind of angles into it. It's between 9th and 10th. And it sort of slants. It's a little short street between 3rd Avenue and 2nd Avenue. It slants into 10th Avenue. 10th Street. And on that side over there, they have entrances too. And they're not to the same apartments. It's like these very small buildings. I actually don't know. I've never actually been inside. I'd love to see what are they like. And if it's anything like the apartments that I'm looking at, oh my goodness. I haven't said much about this. A lot of the apartments I'm seeing are dinky-doo, little teeny tiny spaces for like exorbitant amounts of money. I'm coming from a 1-bedroom apartment that I've had for 50 years on rent stabilization. And I pay a certain amount of money it's still high in most other places, but for New York, it's not high. But places like studios is what I got to look for now. I could never afford a 1-bedroom straight up for what the rates are now, because I'm not going to have rent stabilization anymore when I move. So I'm looking for a studio, and these dinky little things that are barely a room, you know, are being rented for anywhere from $2,000 to $3,800. Are you kidding? So I'm having trouble finding one that's appropriate for me, that I can find within a certain range, and then the bigger problem is this, because I've had some little difficulties in the last couple of years. There's a pot place right there. I don't know if it's even open yet. They've been fixing that place up, and they've been putting a sign in the window, we'll be here soon, or all this stuff. But I don't believe it's open. Or maybe they are. There's people in there. I could be a little behind here, because I see there's people in there. I don't know whether they're customers or just the people that are getting it ready. But that's going to be one of our legal, you know, because a lot of them are illegal. I think it's a guy at a desk there. I believe it's ready to go for business. Yeah, how about that? So a lot of the ones that aren't legal they've been trying. Yeah, licensed cannabis dispensary. See, New York State licensed they're open for business. It says now open. See, now open. So they're open for business. I didn't know that it opened yet. I haven't been up here for a few days. Anyway, they got a little couch in there. You can sit in the lounge. I don't know if you can sample anything while you're in there. But anyway, they made a nice little store here, you know. and they got a cannabis dispensary. And the thing about it is, it's legal, licensed cannabis. There's a lot of places they try to open up, no license, like a lot of the old smoke shops, the places that sell like head shop stuff, equipment, pipes, different things, vaping, different things like that. A lot of them, there's several on my block, by the way, they tried to, open up on the hush-hush, although it's pretty obvious. And so they were selling, and I think most of them have been closed down. They had trouble finding them at first, but then I could see where they were checking them out, and next thing you know, the whole place is closed down. Even if it was a different business before and they were legit, they lose their business. They lost their business because they were trying to sell pot illegally, whatever. So they probably should have waited till they could get a license, because obviously that place over there has a license, which costs a lot of money. But they'll be fine. That's a nice corner. This is a real nice area. They have lots of traffic. So I just want to walk under the scaffolding, or I would just cut out here. Anyway, I'm going to walk on the other side of the street. I don't like scaffolding. Although this is NYU dormitory here, and they will remove the scaffolding as soon as they're finished fixing up the building. They're working on it, cleaning it up a lot, like they keep regular maintenance on these buildings. That's the dormitory for NYU. Okay? And of course they got the scaffolding up, but that will come down. I'm always griping about the places that stick up the scaffolding, and then the landlord doesn't do anything to the building for like sometimes years. There was one on my block went for 10 years. Could have been more, about 10 years without any work done on the building. And then they finally took it down. He might have gotten fined or something, or who knows how they keep track of that stuff. I don't know. So that's all I'm going to do. I couldn't show you the movie stuff because they're obviously not shooting in the street yet. But I showed you where the cars are and all the places are and the people are hanging out. But obviously they're going to work a lot probably tomorrow. Maybe I'll get out and try to go out when they're working. Maybe I could see somebody go, "Psst, you need any more? Can I get? I'm a union actor. Can I get some work?" People do that. I've never done it because I always register with the casting places. I put in for this. Yeah, I put in for this job, but I did not get called. There's the NYU dorm. All right, there's a Cooper Union dorm over there. Cooper Union, the library I always show you, that old Cooper Union building. All right, that's it, folks. JJB Tin Man, Views of NYC, and I'll talk to you later.